You're born in a stable surrounded by animals. Not ideal, but at least you're alive. Your mother's exhausted, your father's confused about the whole virgin birth situation, and random shepherds keep showing up claiming angels sent them. Welcome to existence. Within days, foreign wise men arrive bearing expensive gifts: gold, frankincense, myrrh. Your parents are poor carpenters. This is like someone handing a homeless person a Rolex. Strange start, but you'll take it. Then it gets worse. King Herod hears prophecies about a new king being born and decides the solution is murdering every male child under 2 in the region. Your family flees to Egypt as refugees. You're literally weeks old and already have a price on your head. Most babies worry about diaper rash. You're dodging state-sponsored infanticide. Years pass in Egypt until Herod dies. Your family returns to Nazareth, a village so insignificant that people later joke about whether anything good can come from there. Spoiler, your childhood is surprisingly normal. You learn carpentry from Joseph, study Torah at synagogue, play with other kids. Nobody realizes you're supposed to be the Messiah. You're just another Jewish boy in occupied Roman territory. At 12, your parents take you to Jerusalem for Passover. On the way home, they realize you're missing. Panic mode. They search for 3 days before finding you in the temple, casually debating theology with religious scholars twice your age. These are educated men who've spent decades studying scripture, and you're schooling them. Your mother is furious. Your father's impressed, but trying not to show it. Then the Gospels go silent for 18 years. 18 years! Historians call this the hidden years because nobody knows what you did. Work as a carpenter? Travel? Study? The Bible skips straight to age 30 like a DVD chapter select. When you finally emerge, you head to the Jordan River where your cousin John is baptizing people and calling everyone snakes. Family reunions must be interesting. You ask him to baptize you. He's confused because you're supposedly sinless, but you insist. The moment you rise from the water, the sky tears open, a dove descends, and a voice declares you're God's son. Subtle entrance. Not at all dramatic. Immediately after, the Spirit drives you into the wilderness. Not guides, drives. You spend 40 days fasting while Satan himself shows up to tempt you. He offers you food, power, all the kingdoms of the world. You're starving, exhausted, and the devil's basically offering you creative control of Earth. You decline every offer by quoting scripture. Round 1, you win, you return and start recruiting. Not scholars or priests, but fishermen, tax collectors, and outcasts. Your first disciples are working class guys who smell like fish. Simon Peter, Andrew, James, John. You walk up and say, "Follow me." They drop everything. No interview process, no background checks, just instant commitment. Your teaching style is unconventional. Instead of long theological lectures, you tell stories. A farmer planting seeds, a man finding treasure in a field, a father welcoming home his rebellious son. People crowd around you because unlike the religious leaders who speak in complex legalese, you communicate in language everyone understands. But it's not just words. You start performing miracles, turning water into wine at a wedding because your mother asked, healing a paralyzed man lowered through a roof by his friends, giving sight to people born blind. Each miracle attracts more attention, and not all of it positive. The religious establishment starts watching you carefully. You're breaking their rules, healing on the Sabbath, touching lepers, eating with sinners and prostitutes. You claim authority to forgive sins, which, in their view, is blasphemy. Only God can forgive sins. You keep doing it anyway. Your most controversial move? Claiming to be the fulfillment of ancient prophecies, the Messiah, the Son of God. Either you're telling the truth or you're the most delusional carpenter in history. There's no middle ground. Your followers believe you. The religious leaders want you dead. You gather 12 core disciples and start training them. These aren't the brightest minds in Judea. Peter constantly misses the point. Thomas doubts everything. Judas is secretly stealing from the group funds. Yet these are the men you choose to build your movement. Everything's building towards something. The crowds grow larger, the miracles become more dramatic. You're gaining influence, and that terrifies the people in power. Rome doesn't like potential revolutionaries. The Pharisees don't appreciate theological competition. But you're not slowing down. You're accelerating. You ride that momentum straight into Jerusalem during Passover, the biggest religious festival of the year. The city's packed with pilgrims, Roman soldiers on high alert, tensions already running hot. You could slip in quietly, but that's never been your style. Instead, you orchestrate what might be the most passive-aggressive entrance in history. You ride a donkey into the capital while crowds throw palm branches and shout, Hosanna. It's a deliberate callback to ancient prophecies about the coming king. Every religious scholar watching knows exactly what you're claiming. The Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, notices too. He's not amused. First stop, the temple, but not for prayer. You walk in and immediately start flipping tables. Merchants selling sacrificial animals, money changers exploiting poor pilgrims, the whole corrupt system. You're shouting about turning your father's house into a marketplace. Coins scatter everywhere. Doves escape their cages. It's absolute chaos. The religious authorities watch in horror as you dismantle their revenue stream in front of hundreds of witnesses. That's the moment they decide you have to go. Not eventually. Now. Your disciples think you're finally claiming power. Peter's probably already picking out curtains for the palace. But you keep talking about dying. They don't want to hear it. You're supposed to overthrow Rome, not get killed by them. You gather your 12 for one final meal together. Passover dinner. You break bread, pour wine, and tell them this represents your body and blood. They're confused. You wash their feet like a servant, which horrifies them because rabbis don't do that. Then you drop the bomb. One of you will betray me. They all panic. Is it me? Is it me? Judas stays quiet. He's already made arrangements with the chief priests. 30 pieces of silver for your location. After dinner, you head to the Garden of Gethsemane. You ask your disciples to stay awake and pray with you. They immediately fall asleep. Classic. You're alone, praying so intensely you're sweating blood, asking if there's any other way to do this. There isn't. You know what's coming. Judas arrives with temple guards and Roman soldiers. He identifies you with a kiss. The irony's not lost on anyone. Peter tries to fight, cuts off someone's ear. You heal it and tell him to stop. This isn't that kind of revolution. They arrest you. Your disciples scatter like cockroaches when the lights turn on. Every single one abandons you. The trials are a joke. First, the religious court, where they accuse you of blasphemy for claiming to be God's son. You don't deny it. Then Pilate, who finds no fault in you, but also doesn't want a riot. He sends you to Herod, who sends you back. Political hot potato. The crowd that praised you days ago now demands your execution. Pilate offers to release you as a Passover tradition. They choose Barabbas, an actual murderer, instead. Pilate literally washes his hands of the decision and hands you over. Roman soldiers beat you until you're unrecognizable. They shove a crown of thorns on your head, mock you as king of the Jews. You're forced to carry your own cross through Jerusalem until you collapse. They nail you to it on a hill called Golgotha. 2 criminals hang on either side. Above your head, a sign reads King of the Jews in 3 languages. Even your execution is multilingual. You hang there for hours. People mock you. If you're really God's son, save yourself. Come down from the cross. One of the criminals joins in, the other defends you, and asks you to remember him. You promise he'll be with you in paradise today. Your mother watches from below, heartbroken. Around noon, darkness covers the land for 3 hours. At the 9th hour, you cry out, asking why God has forsaken you. Then you say it's finished and die. The earth shakes. The temple curtain tears in 2. A Roman centurion who just executed you declares you must have been God's son. Your body's taken down and placed in a borrowed tomb. A massive stone seals the entrance. Your followers think it's over. They're hiding, terrified they're next. But 3 days later, women find the tomb empty. You appear to your disciples alive. Thomas won't believe until he touches your wounds. You show him. You spend 40 days proving you're real, then ascend into the sky, promising to return. Those same disciples who abandoned you now spread your message across the known world. Most die for it. 2,000 years later, billions follow the carpenter who claimed to be God and backed it up by beating death itself. Your story reshapes human history more than any conqueror, philosopher, or king. Born in obscurity, executed as a criminal, yet worshipped as divine. You never wrote a book, commanded an army, or ruled a nation. Your ministry lasted 3 years. Your headquarters was the road. Your strategy was love. Your weapon was sacrifice. The movement you started with 12 terrified men hiding in a room now spans every continent. Cathedrals bear your name. Hospitals operate in your service. Calendars mark time from your birth. The cross that killed you became the most recognized symbol on earth. Whether divine or delusional, you fundamentally altered what it means to be human. You flip every power structure. The last shall be first. The meek inherit everything. Lose your life to find it. You made weakness strength and death a doorway. The religious leaders who killed you are forgotten footnotes. The Roman Empire that executed you collapsed centuries ago, but your words still echo. Your claims still challenge. Your tomb stayed empty. That's the part nobody can explain away. You didn't just teach about resurrection, you demonstrated it, and that changes absolutely everything.